Now, Ken Carpenter, who's our next contestant?
Our next contestant, Ralph, Mrs. Frank
Coon. Mrs. Coons. All right, thanks, Ken. Hello, Miss Coons. Have you met Ken Carpenter, the famous announcer?
Glad you do.
Isn't that thrilling to meet a big announcer like that, Miss Coons? Huh? Now, I have a question for you, Miss. We'll have a little consequence, okay?
Fine.
Okay. Do you have any little consequences at home or not?
Yeah, I have one little girl, 13, home.
Oh, she's going to be a big girl. Now, here's...
21.
What's that?
6 children.
Well, she just rushes it off like that. That's really terrific. A girl 13 at home and 6 children.
I have one girl home who's 13, but I've had 6 children.
Well,
altogether without them. I didn't want you to think so she was the only one I had.
Oh, no, what you say leads me to believe that she isn't the only one. What is your occupation? What is your occupation, Miss Coons?
Housewife.
Yes, all right. Now, here's a question. Listen, we'll have a little, I hate to say the word, consequence. Shall we go on? Yes. This is one of our moron questions that we have once in a while on Truth and Consequence. Why did the little moron eat bullets? This is a silly little thing.
It is, I don't know.
Ken told me this before we came on. Why do I blame it on him? I'll face it, I brought it in myself. Do you know, Mrs. Coons?
No.
Why the little moron ate bullets? So his hair would come out in bangs. So you must pay the consequences. Now, Mrs. Coons. Mrs. Coons, do you do your own shopping?
Yes, I do.
I've heard tell that St. Paul housewives are really good shoppers. Is that true?
Yes, it is.
Oh, I'll bet it is. We're going to find out. We're going to bring some melons out here, put them on a table, and have you feel them, you see? And the ones you think are ripe, you can take home with you. Now, if you could see the melons, you could tell if they were ripe or green, so to make it fair, we'll blindfold you. Is that all right with you, to make it a test? Now, remember, you represent all the housewives of America tonight. Would you just go off stage with either Mr. Pascal or Mr. Birch there, and get blindfolded, please? There, Mr. Davidson, thank you. That's it. All right, just go right on, and we'll bring out a table and put 4 melons on it. That's it. Will you bring out the melons, please, Al? That's the stuff. Now, here's the table, and is she gone off stage? She can't hear? Ooh, what's going to happen to her? Now, we told Mrs. Coons that we had 4 melons. Actually, we only have 2. Now, to fill up the other 2 holes cut in this table, I'd like to use 2 bald-headed men. Two fellas, please. 2 nice shining domes. We have lots of celebrities in our audience tonight, and around here on stage. 2 of them have a beautiful head of flesh. Let's bring them out. One is Bill Frawley. Bill Frawley, come on. Here he is, of the film, the famous Bill Frawley. Hello, Bill.
Hiya, Ralph.
Welcome to Command Performance. Now, would you come up here? And over here is Edgar Kennedy, the famous comedian. You gentlemen will just sit down under this table and stick your domes up through the holes in the table on each side of the real melon. You do that, Bill? You get under there, and Edgar, you get under this side. You're happy about this, aren't you, Mr. Kennedy? All right, Bill Frawley, the number 4 spot, and Edgar Kennedy. I can't tell the difference seeing them. What does he do blindfolded? All right. Now, are you comfortable, Mr. Kennedy? Are you comfortable?
Yes, I'm comfortable, thanks. What kind of a melon am I supposed to be?
What'd you say?
What kind of a melon am I supposed to be?
Looks like an eggplant from here. I can't... All right. How you doing over here, Bill Frawley?
Oh, I'm all right, Ralph. Just ask the lady not to plug me.
That's an idea! All right. Now listen, you 2 guys. Oh, here, you 2 guys are over here. Now listen. Let's get back here. Anything might happen here. Let's get our blindfolded woman back on stage. Our bald heads are under the table on each end, you see. Mr. Kennedy is in number 1, and Mr. Frawley's in number 4. And in 2 or 3 are the real melons. All right, bring her back blindfolded. Remember, the ones she thinks are ripe, she can take home with her. All right, bring her back now. Don't anyone give the gag away. Aren't we devils? Well, here you are. This is Mrs. Coons. You all set to go, Mrs. Coons?
That's right.
All right. You got the blindfold on all right, eh?
Yes.
Now, we have the 4 melons here. We've the real California melons. Just walk right up. Don't worry. You hang on to me. You've got everything to lose. Now, just come right on up here, and I'm going to have you thump these melons. You see, the ones that you think are ripe, you can take home with you. Now, will you just double up your fist like you're going to thump it? Don't hit hard. Here's the first one. Thump and tell us what about that one?
right.
It's very good. It really looks that way to me, too. All right. You want to do anything about it?
Probably if I cut it open,
If you cut it open. No, I tell you what, if you cut it open, then you couldn't use it. But if it's overripe, it certainly isn't green, so we'll mark it with this black crayon so you'll know that we aren't kidding you. Here's a black crayon. Now, that one, you see... Now we go to melon number 2. Here's melon number 2. Careful, don't knock the counter over. We have...
Oh, that's horribly hard.
Yes, that is. Oh, that's good judgment. I tell you, these St. Paul ladies really know their melons. Now, what about this? Oh, don't... there's a whole bunch of melons you see on the other side. Now, what about this?
Oh, I think that's very, very green.
Uh-huh. Well, all right. Then, now, this is the last one. Get this and you're all set. What about that?
Well, I think... if I could smell it, I think I
Hold on, let's find out the verdict. What about this one, Mrs. Coombs?
It is rotten.
Tell looking at them, you know. All right. Well, I think you've done very well. I'll put you in front of the one that you said's overripe, and remember those you think are ripe. You can take home with you, Miss Coons. We'll take off the blindfold, and there are the melons. What is it? Huh? What do we got? Oh, real melon. What do you think we got?
Too late, huh?
Still laughing, huh? This is, need we tell you, the well-known motion picture actor, Bill Frawley.
How are you, Mrs. Coons? Just as long as you didn't call me honeydew.
Well, thanks to you, Mrs. Coons, and thanks to both Edgar Kennedy and Bill Frawley. I'm sure the fellas listening agree you're great sports. Good night, Bill.
You're welcome, Ralph. Thank you.
And good night, Edgar. And thank you, Miss Coons. Your prize money awaits.